This is Smiles TV. Welcome to Smiles Television Talk Show. I'm your host, Stephanie Anthony Miles, and we have a wonderful broadcast for you today. I'll be talking with a gentleman named Stefan Self Ruler West, and he's going to help you invest in black businesses. He has a challenge called the Black Wall Street Challenge, where he's going around the country supporting black businesses. You don't want to miss this broadcast. Remember, Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. He was crucified and buried, and he rose on the third day. Confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord. Believe in your heart that God has raised him from the dead, and thou shalt be saved. Stay tuned for more smiles. When you visit Big Mama's in East St. Louis, Illinois, located at 5900 St. Clair Avenue, you will need a fork and a bib. Big Mama's is known for their barbecue, cakes, excellent service, and giving back to the community. Call in, eat in, drive through, carry out, order for your office. You can call Big Mamas at 618-398-8950 or visit 5900 St. Clair Avenue in East St. Louis, Illinois.
And keep the change. Part of our challenge, what we do is we challenge the black business to spend money with another black-owned business. That's all we ask. Keep the change. Black dollars matter. Now, as a part of the challenge, though, we challenge your black-owned business to go spend some money with another black-owned business. See, that's what happens when your people fuck with you, man. Say $80. Keep the change, my brother.
Oh, y'all the Black Wall Street Challenge guys, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we ain't heard about y'all, right?
Oh, man.
If y'all down here on Black Wall Street, holler at me.
Yeah, we down hollering at you, sir. That's our receipt. Just patronized my first black-owned business in Memphis, Tennessee. Black Wall Street Challenge. Let's go.
64 now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Well,
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
$70. Keep the change. All right, have a good day.
All right, y'all be blessed. Be
All right,
safe.
Welcome back to Smiles TV. I'm sure you've heard of Wall Street, but have you heard of Black Wall Street? Yes. We're going to talk to Stefan Self Ruler West, and he's going to enlighten you about Black Wall Street as well as the challenge that's going on throughout the country. And Stefan is the one who's initiating it. Stefan, thank you for coming to Smiles TV.
Thank you for having me.
It's so great to meet you. I've been watching your videos. You're all over the place, and you're encouraging us to do great work. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what is this Black Wall Street Challenge?
Just a little bit about me. I'm a St. Louis native, born and raised St. Louis. Spent half of my childhood in Walnut Park and the other half in Country Club Hills. I come from a very, very big family.
Wait, you said big family.
Well, my grandmother had 13 on one side, and on another side there were 6.
Oh,
So
okay.
I got multiple cousins, aunties, uncles. And then I got the kind of family where we're really old school. Like our second cousins and third cousins, we grew up together. So when I say big, I mean like it's layers. Like, you know, my grandma, sisters, kids, and, you know, we knew all them growing up. We were a very close-knit family on both sides of my family. Prior to 6 years ago, there was a lot of racial strife in the country. A lot of that negative light was shined on St. Louis due to the Mike Brown situation. If people don't know about the Mike Brown situation, you should look into it. But it triggered a lot of stuff, and there were, of course, police killings and things like that that have always happened, but this was like the first time I think the light was being shined on St. Louis. And I think from that, I didn't really like the way that they depicted our people, like the news and the media. I actually stopped watching television around that time because of just how they would like play these clips of people like running out with like one rim, you know, and stuff like that, shoes. And I just was like, wow, this is just so, you know, I just felt like it was making me feel a certain way about my people. Just those visuals. And so I went on just like, I don't know, maybe like a pilgrimage in a sense, because in my mind I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what to do. And that same year, well, Farrakhan had the Million Man March. And that really kind of like catapulted me because of the fact that, you know, I had never really been exposed to the Minister Farrakhan and a lot of his teachings, but going there, it wasn't really about the, you know, joining the nation or anything like that. To me, it was more about the fellowship of the people. It was the first time in my life I had been around so many black people from all over the country, and there was all love in the air. And I mean, like, from dealing with the vendors to just walking through the crowd and people saying, excuse me, referring to you as king, hearing people call each other queen, you know, hearing each other, you know, just being just so like loving toward each other, you know, saying brother and sister, and just the energy itself and the kind of people that it brought out. And then another thing that was really amazing about this event was there was no crimes committed the whole time.
Okay.
You had all these black people out there.
Okay.
From all over the world, you know,
Okay.
and that right there really resonated with me. But the thing that kind of like catapulted me was the fact that I felt like I was going there looking for an answer, but he didn't necessarily give me an answer. He didn't say, hey, everybody go back to their communities and do this. It kind of felt like, you know, he wants you to join the Nation of Islam, which, you know, I can't fault him for that because that's his army. But I wasn't necessarily going there for that.
Right,
I was
you were
just
there
going
trying
there
to
trying to
see what you
find
could
some
do.
answers and see what I could do to help my community. And I felt like I didn't get a plan of action from that interaction or that event. So when I got home, it just stayed in my head. And I had a history of like doing my own kind of media and things like that around St. Louis, just local hip hop stuff that we were doing and all kind of other ventures that we were trying to do when we didn't know what we was doing. So I always had this thing for like the camera and just recording stuff and film. And I was like, man, what if you could use the internet for some good? And I just was thinking like, it would be so cool if you just could like go around just like showing love to people on camera and just showing like, you know, and just showing like a more positive, like just side of things when it comes to like social media. And I was like, what if I just did that focused on just black businesses? Initially, the focus was black banks because I felt like it was that was like the core to a lot of our problems is economics. And I felt like if we can like somehow get it through to people that your dollars matter. And, you know, they had the Black Lives Matter stem from the Ferguson situation too as well. But I was thinking like maybe, I'm not saying black lives do not matter, but I'm saying the way that the media and the world treats black people is different than the way they treat your dollar.
Okay. Okay.
So I felt like if we really want to matter or we want things to change, we have to change where we spend our change.
So you were looking for some concrete change, something that
Yes.
really affected a change within the community. I was looking over part of your profile on LinkedIn, and one of the things that you say basically is that you want to empower, and you may not say it exactly like this, but the meaning that I got from it is that you want to help empower the black community. You want to get to the core of some of the issues there and effect a change in those areas.
Right. And the only thing that matters to me, well, not to me, but just the way the world is set up these days, everything is about money. You know, people don't just wake up and feel like they want to be righteous. There are some situations like that, but when it comes to like collective thought and collective, you know, the way people move, a lot of it is just, it's motivated by what we can benefit, how we can benefit, and a lot of that stems from money. And I mean, money is a tool. It could be used against you. You can use it, you know, to do things that can benefit you. So if we don't understand how our dollars work when they leave our pockets, then we're going to just be frivolously spending our money anywhere and everywhere and not really understanding that actually where you take your money actually affects jobs. It affects job creation. It affects opportunities for more businesses to grow. Those dollars that you spend outside of your community, they never come back in most situations. And when you spend them in your community, you can actually see the benefits of that. And one example that I used to always use is you can go to a Chinatown in just about every major city in America, right? Mm-hmm. When you go to Chinatown, you don't go to go in the 7-Eleven. You don't go to Chinatown to go to Walgreens, you know? You go there for that culture. And I was thinking, like, what if we could just reestablish these Black Wall Streets that we once had in every town? Because you got black people everywhere, so why don't we have a little Africa or a Black Wall Street in every city in America?
That's a good point, and I want to elaborate a little bit on that, but we need to take a quick break.
Okay.
And when we come back, let's talk about Black Wall Street and what was Black Wall Street and how we plan to bring it back if we can. Don't go away. We're talking with Stefan Self Ruler West about his initiative to stimulate the economy, especially in the African American community. He's doing a Black Wall Street challenge. Stay tuned for more Smiles.
IDEX Media does a lot. From IDEX Photography to IDEX Films. We help create forever memories and forever impressions. Imagination, image a world. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce.
What up, world? You know what time it is. Your boy Self Ruler about to show love to another black-owned business, SMilesTV. So, for day 13 of our 28-day Black Business Challenge. First thing I want to do is I want to give you this pack of promotional items.
Oh my.
There's a couple shirts in there, there's some pins, some buttons, some magnets, and you can do what you want with those. And then also, I want to give you this for your endeavors at Smile TV. So we want to show your business some love as well.
You know, we thank God for you, Stefan. I've been seeing you all over the place, and you are doing some great work. And we just encourage other people to do the same. Thank you so very much. We are very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for extending your platform to me as well.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
All right, so
Anytime.
as a part of our challenge, though, you have to go out and show love to another black business. Are you up for that challenge?
I am up for that challenge. Yes.
All right.
Welcome back to Smiles TV. I'm sitting here with Stefan Self Ruler West, and he's making a difference throughout the country, especially in the African American community. He has a Black Wall Street challenge, a 28-day challenge, and just listen up to Mr. West as we elaborate a little bit further on the Black Wall Street. Before we took a break, we were talking about or leading towards Black Wall Street itself. And our audience may not be familiar, some may be, but there was an actual Black Wall Street where the community was prosperous, and it was African Americans. There were African Americans. Tell us a little bit about that and what happened.
So, due to when slavery ended, black people could only shop with black people. So what that did was that created a lot of very wealthy black people, because you got to think, we needed everything from grocery stores to our own bus lines, to our own hospitals, our own insurance companies, our own banks. So we had to have business owners, of course, that handled that kind of stuff. So what that did was that created the fact that we couldn't spend with white people, we had to spend with each other. It made a lot of us wealthy. And there were Black Wall Streets literally all over the country. And during, it was around 1921, there was a lot of racial strife still going on. Of course, slavery was over. You got these black people prospering right after slavery, not even 100 years after slavery, doing well and rebuilding and building. And what actually happened in Tulsa was there was a couple. There's a brother by the name of Dick Rowland, and he was secretly seeing a white woman by the name of Sarah Page.
Okay.
And to make a long story short, she was pregnant. She revealed this information to him while they were in the elevator. A security guard overheard the screams, but they were screams of excitement. So something that would have been a blessing that would have brought two separate cultures together ends up destroying a whole town. And it was just, it was probably one of the most tragic events in American history, and it was one of the only times where American bomber jets were actually used to destroy this town. So it was one of the only times where they used American jets to bomb its own soil.
Wow, and not to be racist or anything, because I definitely love all people, you know, and as a Christian, I'm called to do that, and I thank God for everybody. However, we do see how the media portrays African Americans. And when we have riots, it's, you know, we are thugs and we are all kinds of things. So what you're telling me is back then, roughly in about 1921, that there were riots or whatever. The white people were actually destroying the homes and the businesses.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it didn't stop there. It's happened a lot. There's a lot of things that they don't teach us that you have to kind of dig and find out on your own. But it wasn't the only time where they destroyed a black town by just word of mouth and not really doing a proper investigation or anything like that. Just emotional, you know, just emotions coming and people with this group thought and the minds of just, you have a whole bunch of angry people in a mob and they want blood, and that's just what it was.
Wow. And so now with your challenge in trying to stimulate the economy in the African American community, what challenges have you found in dealing with black businesses, or have you, or with the people who will or will not deal with black businesses?
I think I've had a lot of success dealing with black businesses. I think that one thing though that I do want people to understand is that you have to be a little more patient with black businesses because of the other obstacles that they may have. So sometimes when you go into a black business and you have maybe a negative experience, or maybe the price wasn't right to you, or, you know what I'm saying, you have to keep in mind that we don't control these pipelines that the supplies come from and the products come from. So a lot of times that, you know, causes the black business to have to compete harder with other businesses because they don't get the same deals. So if you want the prices to go down, shop more at those black businesses. If you want the service to be better, talk to ownership. Maybe if you have a bad experience, talk to a manager, talk to maybe get an email address, a suggestion box. Try to see if you can reach out to the ownership. Maybe that's just one bad experience, one bad employee, but you have to let the ownership know that, you know, there's an issue that needs to be resolved. You're the customer, but the first thing you need to do is calm down, you know, and don't take it like a personal thing. It's just sometimes they're just little things that happen, but.
So you're saying hold people accountable.
Oh yeah, hold them accountable.
Because a lot of times when we are encouraged to support black businesses, some businesses, black or white, are not good businesses. So are you standing for support of black business regardless to the service? No. Or if the service is not up to par, like you said, you know, hold them accountable, but don't bash them so badly.
Don't bash them. This is why I tell people, if you have a problem with this black business right here, right? Go across the street and open your own up. Because that's what business is all about, is seeing a problem and solving it. You know, you can take a business model and, you know, remodel that model across the street with your own brand. And then maybe you might have a different view on it, because you might see, hey, it's hard. It's not that easy to be a business owner. Or you might say, hey, man, sometimes you just got messed up employees that you know, when you come in as the business owner, that employee is going to have, you know, they're going to be on their best behavior. But when you leave, you never know how they act. So if you don't take it personal and just kind of like have a little patience and have grace when you deal with a black business. But I'm not saying if they have bad business to support them, because I don't support businesses that are bad businesses. I support a lot of the businesses most of all the businesses that we have supported that are still open are very, very great businesses. And I get so many people that become lifetime customers because we went there one time.
So you traveled all over the place. So tell us one of your most exciting stories.
Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, that came quickly.
Yes,
so tell me about Richmond, Virginia.
Because Richmond, Virginia, the black businesses collectively interact with each other and create events. So they have this black RVA, which is Black Richmond, Virginia, and they do this like if your business is closed on Thursday, and my business is open, you and all your staff come support my business. And instead of waiting on other people to create events, they create their own events. They say, hey, we're gonna do a Black Restaurant Week, or we're gonna do a Black RVA week. They control that. And it was so easy out there. I mean, everybody knew where Black businesses were. They pointed me to them. And it was just like probably one of the easiest states we've been to, or cities we've been to, where they like support each other. It's like second nature. So.
And we have to say, you have your own business. I'll tell my audience how we met. My uncle needed a notary. And so we searched the internet and every place to try to find somebody who was mobile, because COVID had hit and we couldn't get into any business to get some papers notarized. And God let us come across you. And you were such a timely person. You handled the business well. And I would suggest anybody support your business. And what's the name of your notary?
STL Mobile Notary Service.
STL Mobile Notary Service. So he will come to you.
Wherever you are.
And he does great work. And his paperwork was just so intact. And we were grateful and still very grateful for your services. So I'm going to support your business again and ask others to do the same.
Thank you.
So what are some of the struggles that you've had in trying to support African American businesses?
I don't really have many struggles to support Black businesses. I think the hardest thing is getting all of us to collectively support businesses together. Like maybe start something like this with your family. Maybe pick a week and a day that you say, hey, we're going to all meet at this Black business. It's kind of like a cash mob mindset, where when you can have a greater impact. You know, I have no problem going to support Black businesses, as you can see, but I do have a problem with getting people to actually come along and support together. Because I would love to just say, hey, maybe once a month or twice a month or once a week, we meet at a different Black business. We start having our family functions there, and you know, things like that to support, to kind of have a greater impact. Instead of just one person spending $20, you got 20 people spending $20. So things like that, I think, are really where I have the most resistance, is just getting everybody on board to feel the same way, you know, and just to support.
So are people very surprised when you come in? What kind of responses are you getting from the actual businesses, the owners?
I've gotten a lot of good responses, and then you always get that occasional person that's like, hold on, my hair ain't done, don't put me on camera. Right. Or they'll say, oh, well, there's just put this or not that. But for the most part, like, I just tell people, hey man, I'm gonna shop with you. I'm gonna spend more money on it, and I'm not gonna do anything that'll make your business look bad. You know, so I try to like make sure that I get great visuals and a great situation. Funny thing is just recently for our 28-day Black Business Challenge, we did Sweet Art, and Rain, shout out to Rain, the owner of Sweet Art. She's a sweet lady. I did a video, and she didn't like the fact that it was like a little burntness on my quesadilla, and she was like, no, you know. But she gave me a new quesadilla after that. Okay. She was like, no, you need to come back and get another one. But I had already put the video out, but it was just that, like, you know, it was just great that she actually was like, because some people,
care of
man, you got people that love their brand, and I see why. You know, it's hard to build that up and to have a successful business, and that's like one of the most successful Black businesses in our area. Like, she's definitely somebody that I think a lot of people can model their business from when it comes to how she cares about that kind of stuff. So,
and if people want to make contact with you for any reason, how can they do that?
Okay, so they could follow us on Instagram at Black Wall Street Challenge, and you don't have to spell out street. It's BLACKWALLST, and then challenge, all one word. And then on Facebook, we have a group called The Black Wall Street Challenge, spelled the same way. And then on YouTube, it's Black Wall Street Challenge as well. So those are our major platforms that we use to kind of highlight our businesses. So if you want to support or follow or share any of our content, please do, because not only do you help, you know, the challenge to get out, but you help that business, because these are actual videos of me shopping with these businesses. I'm not turning off the camera saying, all right, give me my $20 back. You know, we're shopping with them and we're spending more. So share our video, share our content. It's going to help everybody in turn.
Very good. And are there any lasting words for our viewing audience? If you have to sum up everything or give some words of encouragement to the public, what would you say?
I would say, like I said before, when you deal with a black business, make sure you deal with them with some grace and understanding. And I'm not saying you have to overlook bad service, but just understand where they're coming from and do your best to go out and support as many black businesses in your local community as you can.
Excellent. Stefan, thank you. You know what? I love your name.
Thank you.
Stefan. You know, my name is Stephanie, so.
Oh, yeah, Stefan.
Do you know what your name means?
It means crown.
Yes, it does. And
Yep.
I've also heard that it means crowned and illuminated.
Yep.
So-
It's something like that.
So we have great names. We thank God
That's
for our
right.
names. Thank you again for tuning in to Smiles Television Talk Show. We want to thank our guest, Stefan Self Ruler West. He's doing a 28-day Black Wall Street Challenge. Support him and support black businesses. Remember, only what you do for Christ will last. And Jesus is the Lord. The Lord be magnified.
Are you looking for an insured and bonded residential or commercial contractor? On Time Contracting, owned by Ali McDowell, is just a phone call away. On Time Contracting operates with the utmost integrity and quantities to complete your project right on time. Residential or commercial, exterior or interior, roofing, siding, flooring, you name it. If you want your project completed for the price quoted and at the time quoted, contact On Time Contracting. Good, quality, professional work guaranteed to be completed on time. Call 618-567-3591. No project is too large or too small. On Time Contracting. Call On Time Contracting today. The Smiles Television Talk Show wants to showcase your business, organization, church, and activities. If you have an interest in being a guest on Smiles Television Talk Show, or if you have any show ideas, contact Stephanie Anthony Miles at smilestv777@gmail.com. You may also call 618-741-3770. Tell your friends to subscribe to the Smiles YouTube channel. Let Smiles TV increase your reach. Remember, you look better with Smiles.